welcome back to the game today. I am your host, Claret, and it's another banger. The Warriors are officially the winner of game one after lots of talks about who was supposed to win game one, given the game they had with versus Rockets, where Steph Curry scored only 3 points. And so, you know, put a nail in the coffin and put the Rockets to sleep. Stephen Curry with a huge comeback, to be specific, because it started off a little rough, but then found his way all the way through and ended with a big number as we see Draymond Green speaking to
Just
him.
takes a consistent effort for 48 minutes, and we can be a lot better.
Give us an idea what you had to deal with in this game, what you're going to have to deal with all series with the defensive rebounding. You're fighting Steven Adams. You're fighting Sengun. How hard is it?
It's tough. That's their MO. They rebound like 60% of misses or something like that. It's crazy. So, at times that's their best offense. They get it on the board and they crash the board. So, we just got to do the job. Clean up the loose ones, get the ones we can get. There's a lot of them that we can come up with that we're just not running through the ball, and we need to get those.
As an elder statesman, you always have great perspective. How proud of you were Moses Moody and Brandon Pajemski in the fourth quarter when it mattered most in their first test in the fire?
It was huge to see those guys. Moses is an NBA champion, so he's been through it before, big games. BP, this is his first time around, but to see those guys step up the way they did, Moses, huge corner three. BP made big plays down the stretch with the finish, getting fouled on the broken play where he went, and Thompson tried to take the charge. So, it was great to see those guys step up to the challenge, and they need to do that for 3 more wins.
Talk to me about your mentality offensively and the team mentality, trying to deal with a great defense. They're fifth defensively. They'll throw zones at you all over Steph Curry, all the double teams. What are you thinking coming into these games, trying to find some space for Steph and others?
Just being precise and knowing what we're in. Got to know what we're getting for us.
It is, Draymond Green is Draymond Green. He's always going to do what he does. But really just, well, he was being beaten in the first quarter, first 2 quarters at least. And Shengun kind of dominated him mostly, but then he came through when it mattered the most, which was the fourth quarter, and Warriors able to pull away this one. Let's take a look at Stephen Curry.
You understand it's a 48-minute game, and especially on the road, hostile environment, a team, playing relentless, physical, tough basketball. You just kind of got to stick with it. There's going to be runs. We were up 20 in the second half, and nobody was really happy on the bench because we understood, it's a long game. So when they made their run, the composure matters because then you can make plays on the stretch. Whether it goes your way or not, you kind of rely on that.
Steph, last time you played these guys, they were very physical with you. I think you only had 3 points. Did you consciously come to this game and say, okay, I'm not going to come off screens and shoot in the three. When I get the ball, I'm going to go to the hole. I'm going to do things differently.
Well, I know I'm going to score 3 points for sure, but I think the first 3 shots I missed, and then I understood they were going to really try to take away the 3. And I got to the basket 3 in a row to finish the first quarter. So we try to soften them up a little bit. They have athletes everywhere. They play a tough brand of defense, but if you just play smart and allow my endurance to take over, over the course of the game, I think I get freed up. And you usually got to make shots. I made some tough ones, but I think you got to keep them honest.
Steph, what's obviously he's a heck of a player. What has Jimmy given you the ability to rest? He's given you the ability to rest more because he's not as great as you, but he's a really nice second closer to have on the team, correct?
Jimmy's nice. Don't get that twisted. He's carried teams to the finals, and the idea of what he brings to us is another guy that's just comfortable with the ball in his hands to create for himself and for others. no matter what the situation is. You saw plenty of times he kind of made something out of nothing. He is a legitimate ball handler where we can give it to him in space, on the post, at the elbow, wherever, and teams have to respect him. So if I can space and give him room and, just, again, keep the defense honest, that helps. And we've had a really good chemistry since he's been here.
I'm going to add on to that question in terms of like when Clay was there and you had Durant, a lot of times the defense was really spread out because of the great shooting. Jimmy is more of a mid-range player. So your whole offense, to me, when I look at it, how much has that changed, just your offensive calls and your sets?
Our system is the same, but we do have, basically, like, Peyton Manning at the line, you have, your audibles where you can go to the Jimmy playbook, if you will, and like I said, get him the ball at all three spots, whether it's a pick and roll, whether it's at the elbow, or on the block. So, we're still learning, each other and where, those sweet spots are, depending on how teams guard us. But that is a great safety net to have. If they're going to pressure me full court or try to take away the off-ball stuff, that you have somebody that can create shots on his own.
On the other side of the floor, Steph, what is your explanation? How do you summarize why you guys are such a better defensive team now?
Versatility. I mean, the competitiveness. I think me, Draymond, and Jimmy, I try to hold up my end on the bargain on the defensive end, but those two guys, obviously Draymond, Defensive Player of the Year in our book, they quarterback the defense. And then you got two guys in our starting unit who are young, but are super competitive. They put their nose on the ball. They understand how to, get in the fray a little bit. We just got to rebound a little bit better. Houston really tried to make that a point of emphasis, and they missed a lot of shots, so they were just crashing, left and right. So if we can do a little bit better job there and then get in transition, I think it'll be even better performance on that end of the floor.
You know what we like to say on this show? He makes it look effortless. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you stopping by.
Say it, Chuck.
We all say it, but Charles never says it. He's just no
He doesn't
fun
like jump
at all.
shots. I understand. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey,
Happy Resurrection Sunday to y'all, too.
You ducked me.
Hey.
You ducked me last summer in Tahoe with that Olympic stuff.
Right
But I'll
back
see
at
you
you.
this summer.
Hey, don't worry. I'll be there for the next 10, 15 years. I know I'll see you there.
Stephen Curry joining us from.
Stop it, Charles. Stop it, Charles Barkley. Calling out Stephen Curry. Please stop it. But yeah, Steph Curry making it look effortless. That's a good one. But inside the NBA, Chuck, Kenny, and Shark and Ernie. Well, their names are kind of very similar a little bit. But yeah, what a game. What an incredible win for the Warriors, most importantly. You still won on the road. You are able to go home and protect home court. This game was pretty much the Rockets to start and to begin. And then the Warriors